Music legends Jimmy Iovine and Mary J. Blige are here in the studio this morning with a new collaboration. Iovine is the man behind some of music's biggest names. He was a recording engineer for John Lennon, Bruce Springsteen, a producer and co-founder of Interscope Records. Iovine worked with many major artists like, anybody heard of U2, Lady Gaga, Eminem, and the Black Eyed Peas. Well, he is now leading the charge at Apple Music. Mary J. Blige, you know her too. She's known as the queen of hip-hop soul. She's won 9 Grammys, thank you very much, selling more than 50 million albums worldwide. And she co-stars in the new Apple Music ad with actresses Kerry and Taraji P. Henson. And you are seeing it for the first time on CBS This Morning.
Kerry, what makes you feel sexy, honey?
Summers in the Bronx. You know, that kind of hometown, neighbor next door, pumping Mark Anthony. Check this.
Turn up.
I know a little something about salsa. Mary, put the knife down.
Apple Music hopes to change the way that we listen to music. Jimmy Iovine and Mary J. Blige, welcome back to the table, Mary J. Jimmy, we're so glad that you were here for your debut appearance on CBS This Morning. Let's talk about that commercial because it debuted in the Emmys and people said this: Apple Music just gifted us with the best moment of the Emmy telecast. Best friendship erotica this world has seen. I like that, Jimmy. So what was your thinking behind the story? What were you trying to tell?
Well, music streaming, streaming's a technology, but what this is a streaming service, a music streaming service. And what it does is tries to make it sort of gives you 30 million songs, and it serves them up to you. It makes it easy to find music. So I always know that women find it very difficult at times, some women, to find music.
He's talking about me because I was telling him.
I found that out a minute ago. And this helps make it easier with playlists, but they're curated by real people. They're not curated by, they're not made by algorithms alone. They're made by algorithms, but with a human touch. And it makes it a lot easier to find music.
But you got the 3 women together, and Mary, it's like we're looking at 3 friends.
Right.
What does commercial mean to you? Why you want to participate?
It means so much to me because the day that Jimmy brought the idea to me, it was like, wow, why didn't I think of that? Because one of my real friends is in it, Taraji P. Henson, and I didn't know Kerry as well. I've met her a couple of times, but being on the set with her while doing this commercial was just amazing. Like, I want to be her friend now, So it was a genius idea to have girls, because that's what we do. When we get together, we sit, we listen to music, we talk about life, love, marriage, and things like that. So it was just beautiful to have Jimmy choose me to be a part of their world and then be a part of mine.
But your creative concept, Jimmy, was what? How did it start?
I just thought of a problem. Girls are sitting around, talking about boys, right?
Yeah.
And or complaining about boys when they get their heart broken or whatever. And they need music for that, right? So it's hard to find the right music. Not everybody has, the right list or knows a DJ or something. So you need great lists. You need great lists for dinner. You need great lists for exercising. And you need great lists for moments like that. So I just, originally, I said, I know, Mary, Kerry, and Oprah. Kerry Washington and Oprah, originally. So we went on and we tried to convince Oprah to do it, and we got that close.
Yeah, she said no thanks, and then you ended up with this.
Well, because I wanted Taraji. Yes. I wanted to be 4 women, but then when Oprah didn't want to do it, we had Taraji, Kerry, and Mary, because I was going to do it originally with 4, and but it came out fantastic, and Ava DuVernay just murdered
who directed
the director. Yeah, she just killed it.
I know when Apple started, you guys gave it out free in terms of the streaming for 11 million. That's dropped to about 6.5 million now. Where is Apple in terms of the landscape? Because Spotify has been out there for a while.
We have what that's referring to is the 3-month trial. It's a 3-month free trial for everyone, even now that signs up. And after that 3-month trial, you decide either to keep going or not. And, we're well over 6.5 million paid subscribers right now, and it's going really well. We're around about 5 weeks or something like that, as far as after the trials ended. So we're really happy with it.
Yeah. But this is interesting because you and I were just talking about this. I still use iTunes so much to download all of my playlists, and my husband said, Nora, you're living in the past. You got to get onto streaming. That is how much is iTunes going to be a share of it when streaming becomes just streaming the total future?
Yeah, streaming going to kill iTunes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, everything ends, or fades out. CDs are still around, and people are still buying vinyl. Everyone will have a different place. But we believe that music streaming, especially when curated by real people, it's of service. These things have to be of service to have them work, not just be a service. Mm-hmm. And we think this is a really easy way to find music.
But Mary, do you worry how people are going to get your music?
Yeah.
Do you worry about that?
Sometimes I do.
And what have you come up with on how best to get best for the fans to get your music? I hear artists are always wondering, complaining, and worried.
I think the best way is through Beats, Apple Music, Beats Radio, online. These are the only ways. The best way and the only way I see that a multitude of people can get your music.
We have a new list that we serve up to you every week. It's called the A list. And what that is all the new music in different genres. Our editors get together and put them together so you can hear about new music or music you haven't heard before. And we keep moving in and keep servicing it to you. You tell us we tell us the kind of music you like. And we grow and we learn you. You tell us if you like it, if you don't like it as it's going along. And we learn who you are and your musical taste.
Jimmy, you've been a player in the music business since you went way back when you joined the recording studio to clean up the place, I think.
That's right.
And you've had such influence on so many artists. And it is said that Apple bought your company simply because they wanted to buy your talent.
That's not true. We have an incredible, that's very nice, but it happens to not be true. We have this extraordinary headphone company and speaker company.
Absolutely, you and Dr. Dre.
Yeah, Dr. Dre and I, we started this headphone and speaker company that did really well, and it was very, very, very successful. And we also built a streaming service. I wanted to work with Apple
because
when I met Steve Jobs in '82, the record industry was in a shambles, and it's still having a difficult time. And when I met them, I said, "Oh, the party's over here." It was
party's
just,
over.
Yeah, the party's over here.
Over here.
It was just what they were onto was so brilliant, and I just stayed and I helped them out. I did whatever I could, and they taught me a lot. And we started a headphone and a speaker company. And then when Steve passed, I went to Eddie Q and Tim Cook, and I said, you know something, I could really help with music up here. Drake can help. We have Trent Reznor. We have all these guys. Let us come in and help you with your music service.
And it took them about a half a second to say yes.
Oh, no, it took them about a little bit. That company doesn't say yes very quickly.
But Jimmy, go back to the day, though, because if you hadn't made a different choice, you could have been in the sneaker business when Dre first came to you about this idea.
Well, I wanted to do something that used music's power to show the world what music can do in pushing a product or some kind of influence in popular culture. So I was walking down the beach one day, and Dre said to me that we were always talking about. Dre was very dissatisfied with the way young people listening to music, the quality of the speakers, and they weren't investing in audio like we did, Right. And he was upset about this. So one day he said to me, "My lawyer wants me to sell sneakers," and I said, "No, Jay, let's go speakers."
Not sneakers, speakers.
And it worked, and we did very well.
Mary, do you worry about Apple not being able to sell albums in a big-time way?
Of course, all the time. I mean, I make my music for my fans, and I want them to be able to get it. And I think all the time, how am I going to be able to get my music to them? Where's it going to go? Because the record business is not the way.
Changing.
It's completely changed. So
it's so much easier to get music now.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, there's an ocean of music that's very complicated, but some of these services, and I think particularly ours, is really helping people do that.
Great to have both of you.
Jimmy Iovine and Mary J. Blige.
What's the name of the company?
Great to have you here.
What's the name of that company, Jim?
Great to have you here.